I'm Jenna Love from the Somebody You Love podcast, and this is a misconception not so much about the industry, more just about S word in general. And I hear people saying that you can't transmit STIs from doing oral stuff, and that is categorically untrue. The risk of transmission for when there's mouth to genital as opposed to genital to genital is generally lower, but that doesn't mean it's non-existent. I want to be clear that getting an STI is not a bad thing. It's not a moral thing. You've done nothing wrong. They're quite common, but it's good to be aware. And that means that if you are engaging in oral pleasure, you should be getting tested. That means that you are active, S-wordly active. And, there are barrier protection options out there. And I think a lot of people that are not in the SW industry aren't really either aware of that or don't think that that's something that you can do. But for both genders, all genders, there are absolutely barrier options out there. There are condoms and there are dams. And whether you use those or not is absolutely each individual's choice. But I just want to make sure people know that they do exist because there is a risk. Just like there's a risk anytime you come into any contact with a human being. We pass on infections. We are organisms that do that. It happens. And that's why I also don't like to use the term safe in regards to S word, but rather use the term safer, because there's no inherently safe S word. You are coming into contact with another human being. It can't be objectively safe. But there are things we can do to mitigate the risk, and that includes barrier protection, getting tested regularly. We go into more detail about that misconception in episode 46 of the podcast. That was just a little taste.